All right, y'all. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Praise the Lord. Bless the Lord. It's the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and we're going to be glad in it. Listen, today we're going to just jump right into it. Y'all know you're experiencing it just like I'm experiencing it. Once again, 2020 is revisiting us. 2021, we thought that we had a reprieve from all this social and racial tension and unrest. We thought that we had that, and now all of a sudden, I mean, it's the poked his head out like like no man's business, and this is just crazy. And so everybody is commenting about this. Everybody's got their own little take. The news platforms, they out there, they talking about it because they trying to keep their ratings up, and they asking foolish questions like, why is this happening? Foolish questions. I heard some lady the other day, she was talking to somebody and just, well, why do you think this is happening in your city, in Chicago? Well, how he gonna know? Just because, he on TV and he might have a position, that don't mean that he have answers. And I can't emphasize this enough. I've been trying to drive this home because this is the way that we are being programmed. This is the way that they are minimizing our voices. Because if you continue to listen to all that mess, it's just a bunch of rhetoric. They put it in your head. And if a person gives an answer, another person runs with that foolish answer that was given, and they say, well, this is that. How you gonna speak on behalf of a 20-year-old boy that's got a gun and he just go on a spree and start killing up folks? This is not something that can be measured psychologically. It is not really something that can be measured medically, sociologically, none of the ologies, okay? Biology, none of it. It's not that kind of party, y'all. And so I want to speak from a different platform with a different voice, and we need Jesus. And I know y'all is like, listen, because see, this is my challenge, is because it's like people don't want to hear it no more. And I know bodies, black and brown bodies, are frustrated. They tired. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. I don't want to look behind my back no more. I shouldn't have to. Why I gotta look behind my back? For what? I ain't doing nothing. I got the same right as you do. I can go the same place as you do, stand as tall as you do. I got to duck and hide. Like I can be normal like anybody else. But why is it that I have to be other than normal? So this is a problem. But see, where we at right now is we really want to talk about a solution. But I'm going to give you a solution. But even me giving you the solution, where we have pushback. Because, you go look at it, I got this to do, I got that to do. Yeah, but you wouldn't have this or that to do if your son or your daughter ended up like some of these other sons and daughters. So I want to talk to you today from what God has given me, because this is my calling. I hear from God. I'm educated. I got it from, I can go into the science of it and all that as well. I can go into the history of it. I can do all that. But more than that, that does not give me my message. What gives me my message is God. And so I can say of a truth today that God gave me this message to give, because everybody is trying to figure out, what do we do? Everybody's scurrying around. Everybody asking questions. Well, I'm getting ready to answer some of the questions that you are asking. I'm going to answer it. You may not like the answer, but I'm going to give it to you, because I'm here to stand in the gap. I'm like a priest. What I do is I mediate between, I got one foot in the problem and one foot in the solution. So I'm talking to God, God talking back to me. And with that, I'm giving it to the people. But we're reciprocating, because I'm getting feedback from you as well. And I'm talking to God, even though he knows everything. I'm still taking that back to him. And I feel your heaviness. I feel your heart. I get all that, because I got the same thing. I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. I'm between. There's a part of me that's got humanity. I'm wrapped in humanity, even though I'm spirit, right? So it's the spirit part that hears from God. And then I got to figure out through my humanity how to get it to you. And so with that, I get frustrated because, and it's not just me, it's whoever God is using. I don't care if you're talking to 1 million people or you're talking to 10 people. Whatever it is that God has given me, and if you're listening right now, you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. So I want to talk to you from this perspective of what's going on today in our world, and I want to challenge you with that and tell you what God is saying. So let's just jump right into it. I want to take you to the book of Luke, chapter number 8, beginning at verse number 26. And I'm not going to read all this. I want you to read 26 through 39 through 40. I want you to read it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to piece it together because of time. I'm going to piece it together. And so the first thing that I want us to notice here is that in this narrative, in the text, there's a problem right out the gate. There's a problem right out the gate. And I want you to hear me, because what I am saying to you today is I'm speaking to the church, and I'm speaking to families. I'm speaking to the world. I'm speaking to all you out there that's trying to figure out how do we get our arms around this? How does this stop? How do we stop this? I'm getting ready to show you how to stop it. I can't guarantee you that it's going to stop, though. But I'm going to give you clarity and understanding, right? Because the scripture says in Hosea 4:6 that my people are destroyed; they perish for a lack of knowledge. It's knowledge that we're lacking, that we miss. And so we come out the gate flawed. And I want you to hear me and stay with me. In verse number 26 of Luke, the 8th chapter, it says right here, it says that they arrived at the country of the Gadarenes. They arrived at the country of the Gadarenes. Now, this is Jesus. He's coming. The Gadarenes is that vicinity, that city state is up against the Sea of Galilee. Okay, and so in this area, it's different. It's different. It ain't. This area don't know Jesus. Okay, this area don't know Jesus. I taught you guys some weeks back about Caesarea Philippi, and Jesus is asking the question to his disciples, "Whom do men say that I am?" And this location, this terrain is just, I'm not going to say identical, but it was all a part of what they call the Decapolis. The Decapolis was made up of 10 cities. But those 10 cities were governed by the Greco-Romans. And the Romans were governed by all kind of gods and deities. And so although these 10 cities had the wherewithal to kind of free flow, kind of do their own things, they had their own money and all that stuff, at the end of the day, they still came up under the canopy of Roman structure, under Roman systems. It still came under that, even though you had a form of your own identity. And this is where he was going. Now, the issue with this, and the reason why I say we come out the gate messed up, is because I'm trying to identify a place where the church is. Because we looking for being the answer to the problem. We're looking for help, right? The world is looking for help, and they supposed to look to the church for this help. But here's the issue. When Jesus gets here, he finds the Semitic people. Now, these people are supposed to be, let's just say for the sake of understanding, they church people. If they're Semitic, then that means that they came from our father Abraham. And we understand Father Abraham as being the father of faith, right? We understand Abraham as that's where the promise came through. That's the covenant. All that stuff, right? So we know that with Abraham, you know how to cut covenant. You know about sacrifices. You know about circumcision. There's just some things that you're going to know about. You'll know a little bit about maybe prayer, sacrifice, if I didn't say that already. So there's some things that God outlined and he expected that even though it's the New Testament, but you still living up under the law. But even up under the law, you should have some form. And I know this ain't right, but you should have some form of godliness. And it's right, but it ain't right. And what I mean by that is until Jesus fill you up, you should be trying to live the best godly life as you can. But here's the issue. They came to this place, and the Gadarenes, that in and of itself, it suggests, when you look at it and you do the research on it, it was a place where people mingled. And so you have the Gentiles that are on this side, and you had the Semitics on the other side, the Gentiles and the Greeks over here, and then you had the Semitics that was over here. Now they were in close proximity. Now understand the region, the terrain where Jesus is at, they had a lot of idol gods. It was a place of colonization. And so what that means is that you become one with the environment of where you are, the location of where you are. You start to become one with that. You start to become one with their gods, the idolatry that was going on, the culture of the day, all that stuff. You start to blend in, and you're interwoven. You start to mingle. And so after a while, even though you're of Semitic descent, because you mingle that line, that blood and all that so deep into this other part of life, this other part of an experience, this Gentile way, this Greek way, you've mingled so much in there that now I can't tell what's what. But here's the problem. You're in trouble now. The world's in trouble, and the world is looking for the church. But the church can't stand up and be the powerhouse that it should be, because they're too mingled. So we come out the gate. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. So we come out and the reason why I'm saying is because everybody trying to figure out, what do we do? How can we mitigate this issue? I'm sick of it. This, that, and the other. And I get all that. But God is saying, wait a minute. I want to help you, because this is not a biological problem. This is not a sociological problem. This is not a psychological problem. It's not a medical problem. It's not none of this. But what this really is, it is a spiritual and a prophetic issue. It's spiritual and it's prophetic. So being that it's spiritual and it's prophetic, that means that the tools, the stuff that you use, you can't use that. You can't use that. But you have to identify. You have to recognize first. If you don't recognize, if you don't know, then you just walk around and you like a chicken with his head cut off. You have no direction. And that's what's going on with the church right now. Ain't nobody calling the church. There's no need to call the church. And I'm not saying that as the church is a bad place, but God is concerned about the church, because the strength of the church right now should be punching hard. The strength of the church. And when I say that, I'm talking about myself as well. And so this message is not just for you. God has given it to me to identify even with myself. So it's to me first and then to y'all. But I want you to understand it, because I'm working on this. You better believe I'm working on this real hard. I promise you that. And so we have to get to the first thing is figure out how to separate. How to separate. And see, this is where in Genesis, where it talks about let no man put asunder what God has put together. That whole piece is the separation of that. The only way that can be separated is that God has to get in there. Because once you become one with something, you can't, if you separate that, two people die. The things die. The things become dysfunctional. So you can't navigate, you can't move, you can't have your being without God doing it. God has to surgically do it. Doctors can't do it. Not medical knowledge and all that stuff, technology can't do it. And it's the same way with here. So now we need Jesus' help. That's what God is saying. He's saying that now I've got to figure out a way to untangle this. I've got to unravel it. Because the church has become too worldly. They've become too wrapped up in the world. And so now you're calling on God and asking and praying to God, but you mixed up with all the stuff. So what God is saying is like, I'm not sure how to answer you, because you was just in the club last night. You was just doing it your way the other day. And when I had you so influenced by the world, when you have your praise and worship music on in the car, and somebody get in there that, that has a little influence in your life, and they turn it down and they say, let's turn it to, 107.9. And when you get on 107.9, it's like, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. And then that thing get in your spirit. And next thing you know, you got out of it, and what's in your spirit, what's in your soul now, like, dun, 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 drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Right? But then 4 hours later, emergency hits. There's an emergency. Emergency at your house. But all day, what's been the song, God wanted to put a song in your heart, and he was calling for you to stay right there in praise and in worship, but you allow the mingling of the gatherings to get inside there. And so now you feel like you can't even pray. So you need to call on God, but it's so many other things in here that you can't do it. It's like, man, I'm just, and so now the church has become weakened because we have intermingled with so much of the stuff of the culture that's going on around in the space that we live in. That is the thing that God wants us to pick out in just that first verse right there. Okay, so y'all read all that, but I'm just ready to give you an outline. Number two, science. And I said it once, I'll say it again. Science can't help you. Stop looking for technology, science, books, all this kind of stuff. Prolific people that sound good. Quit looking for all that. Quit looking at love, eros love, all that stuff. That ain't gonna fix this. Love will, but not that kind of love. That's not gonna fix this. Now, why am I saying that? Point number 2 is because all the stuff that we're pointing to get help, to draw strength from, you can't get it from that. You know why? Because the problem that we have today is not those kind of problems. We don't have a mathematic problem. This is not about an algebra equation. This is not what this is. This ain't like going in and getting no tests, and when you get the blood, looking for a certain blood count that's scientific, that you can get, there's some accuracy to it. You can almost exhaust it. This ain't what this is. This ain't binary. Either it is or it ain't. It ain't that. Let me tell you what you got to recognize in this. Number 2 is you got to identify what it is. And you know what this is? It's a demon. It's a demon. Point number 2, what God wanted me to tell you was, you ain't dealing with all that other stuff. You dealing with demons. Demons. Evil spirits. That's what's going on with all this killing. That's what's going on with, I said it was prophetic and it was spiritual. That's what's going on with these shots and these agendas that they got, and you got to do this. Let me tell you something. I don't care how many shots you take. It is not going to mitigate the issue that is in the land. Take it to the bank. It's not. Now you can do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do, what not to do. What I'm saying is that prophetically, this had to come. This right here is what is, and I can't get into this right now, but this is what is outlined in the book of Revelation when it starts to talk about pestilence. And when it starts to talk about the pale horse and all that stuff, this is what is talked about in Daniel, the book of Daniel. So some of these things are going to happen. These are, so it's prophetic that's coming to pass, but it's also spiritual that's coming to pass. Because see, when you just got hate inside of you and you can't see it, you can't go to a doctor and get a pill for it. You know why? Because it's a spirit. So you got to deal with the spirit. Point number 3. The next thing that we got to do is we have to recognize. And the reason why I say that, because when we look at verse number 28, this is what it says. It says that when he saw Jesus, boy, I really wish I could preach, but I got to teach on this right here, and I ain't got time. When he saw Jesus, when who saw Jesus? This brings clarity and definition to my next point. Point number 3 is that the reason why we can't, number 1 is that it's mingling. Too much mingling. Number two is it's a demon. You got to know it's a demon. Number three is the demon has to recognize you. The demon's got to recognize you. It says right here, and when he saw Jesus, who saw him? The spirit, the demon. The demon that was controlling the man. I'm going to work this message. This might be 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. Because we got a problem, y'all. We got a problem that's going on right now. And if we don't understand what I'm telling you right now, we ain't going to be able to deal with this. Because all this stuff that y'all listening to on the news and CNN and MSNBC and all these different platforms. This right here, what I'm telling you. So you, just like it was with the sons of Sceva. Jesus I know, Paul I know, but who is you? Who you is? Who are you? And what God is saying to the church today is that this stuff is going, the enemy is punching, boom, 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 and the church is, stop. Jesus, help. Jesus said, but greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I've given you power. I've given you authority. That's the difference between you at the Sadducees and Jesus. When Jesus came to the synagogue, he talked about the law, but the Bible says he spoke with authority. He came in demonstration and power. That's something that the Pharisees and Sadducees, they can't do. But that's how the church is acting. The church, they talk about the church, but you act like Pharisees, Sadducees. You can't do nothing. You ain't got no power. And then you want to challenge Jesus on every front. You're challenging. Because you don't like his ways. Like some of y'all may not like my message right now. But I know I'm in the house. I know God gave it to me. I know it's real. I know that this is the problem. And it may not be all the problem, but I'm just giving you what he gave me. So you got to recognize. You got to be recognized by the problem that's around. Because problems pick up on who you are. Spirits pick up on who you are. See, I was going to make this about me. And when you have a demon and a demon, you delivered from a demon, that demon has no more control over you. And so the demon that leaves you, if it goes to somebody else, it still recognizes you as being able to defeat it. And so when you step into the purview, that demon comes, it is subject to you. It comes under your authority. And I'll get into that in another message that, you know, because I've lived this. I have been under demon possession. And the reason why I know I was under demon possession, see, y'all thinking that demons is, you know, you got to have green stuff coming all out and horns and all this stuff. No, that's not. See, demons are in some real beautiful people that's walking around 36, 24, 36. Demons got sweet, sexy voices. That's what demons got. Demons know what to do, how to do it. They know all that. And the way that you know that you got a demon is that you keep doing what the demon tell you to do. When you at the disposal. Oh, I wish I could preach this. See, that's what happened with the man. The demon was controlling him. That's why I know it. See, in here, it make it look like it's all ugly. No. Demon is when you pick that phone up. That's a demon. When you can't stop picking that phone up and you got to make that call. When you keep on texting, when you know you ain't supposed to be texting, or where you know you ain't supposed to be texting. How do you know when a demon is gone? How do you know? When that phone ain't got power over me no more. How do you know when I quit texting? How do you know when I quit going down the road? How do you know when you quit indulging in what you used to indulge in all the time? So don't get cute with me, because I'm coming for you today. Don't get cute with me and tell me that, oh, I ain't got no demon. See, demon possession is when you just keep doing whatever the demon tell you to do. And the way that you know you delivered, you don't do it no more. But that's the difference from demon influence. I can't deal with that right now. So it's got to, because I'm almost out of time for this one, I'm gonna stop it and I'm gonna come back. So you have to be recognized. You have to be recognized. And until you get recognized, God ain't doing nothing but just patting his feet. That's the reason why he ain't working on our behalf, and he ain't doing it. He just patting his feet. Just patting his feet. And he says, hey, okay, I'm just waiting on you. I'm waiting on you, player. As soon as you make up your mind, and I'll make my mind up. As soon as you return to me, I'll return to you. But see, the world is in such chaos right now. And the church is so messed up right now. And we asking God to help us. And God is saying, I don't know what to do. What do you want me to do? I mean, you know, I ain't your sugar daddy. I ain't your sugar daddy. I ain't here for you just to use me. I tell people all the time, listen, whatever it is, this has been a mantra of mine for a long time. If anybody that's going to be part of my team, they got to be Team Donnie, not Team what Donnie got. Team Donnie. You got to be in love with me, baby. It's got to be all about me. It's got to be showing up, ride or die. And that's the way God is. He like, you just got to be in love with me, baby, ride or die. It ain't that you in love with me as long as I'm feeding you. As soon as I back off a little bit, then you back off. That ain't no relationship. That ain't no relationship. And God does not like that. And that's what the church is asking for right now. Just keep doing for us. Just bless us. God bless America. God bless America. How about America blessing God? All right, let's park it right there. I'm going to hit the pause button, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to finish this up.